once again to all the wonderful devotees who came from the various Mandir to grace this golden opportunity and this wonderful occasion. On behalf of our sponsor, Shriman and Srimati Harridial of the British Virgin Island, I bid you Swagatam on their behalf. With those wonderful devotional to the lotus feet of Bhagwan and to the Divine Mother, I do hope that our mind is now fixed to listen to Katha. Last night was very interesting, and I guarantee you that tonight would be no exception from last night. But before I present the microphone to our Vyasji, can anyone tell me what was the topic last night? What was last night's topic? Pardon me? Because if we can remember last night's topic, and tonight's topic, and tomorrow night's topic, then what message or then what lesson would we take across our community? A very interesting topic last night, my dear friends, which you and I would have indulged in our everyday life. And the topic is how one can destroy themselves with their own power. And our Vyasji brought to us the king by the name of, what is the name of the king? Basma. Let me hear you. And who he was after? Her name started M? Right. Give yourself a round of applause. We have to sit and digest everything. And not everything, the most important thing. And I've said this at many Yajna. You see this little booklet that I have here? I have about 200. Because every Yajna that I attend, or any pravachan, I take this with me with a pen, so I can make my little jot-ins for the benefit of myself. You too can do the same. But now we are in a technology world. You have your phone, you can do that. You can make a little note. Last night, the Katha entails Basmasur and Mohini. That how one can destroy themselves with their own power. Tonight, with great honor and privilege, I present to you our Vyasji as he about to present Katha tonight, taken from the golden pages of our spiritual scripture. With honor, Vyasji, I present to you. Prem se bolo Vyas Maharaj ki.
प्रेम स्वादि शक्ति दुर्गा माता की, शिव शंकर भगवान की, सत्य सनातन धर्म की, जय जय सीताराम। तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः कत्यायनि च विरमहि कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः ॐ महालक्ष्मी च विरमहि विष्णुप्रियाय धीमहि तन्नो लक्ष्मी प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः एकदन्ताय विरमहि वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तनो धन्ति प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः ॐ सरस्वत्यै च विद्महे ब्रह्मपुत्राय च धीमहि तन्नो देवी प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्रः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वाहा ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम्। Respected devotees of Satyasamanar, devotees from various Mandir, devotees and members of the Bhuvneshwar Mandir, and all of you once again to be here on our second night of Gyaan Yajna. Tonight, before I commence Katha, I must say my humble salutation, Namaskar, Pranam, Sitaram to each and every one of you. Swagatam, welcome on behalf of this family who came all the way from the US Virgin Island to be here in sharing their support for us to have this opportunity to once more to listen to a great Purana. But tonight I promise you that I will bring something for you to understand a little from last night Katha. Anyone remember what we are about to learn here tonight before we commence our Katha? How many of you remember about the pai? Anyone? Alright, so I rent the pai from over here, Mataji here. This is what it looked like. Anybody ever see one like this before? It doesn't have this foam, but like this. A piece of cloth with a string. Like you draw it like this. Anybody ever see this before? You not even get this? So for those of you who were here last night, you don't understand. And if I go into this pai, I can find some money. And if I go into this pai that I rent, I find something else. Does this match the Katha last night? Anybody? Huh? My friends, this is for you to understand how to keep our money, to protect our money and our wealth in putting Bhagwan first. Loving devotees, without any hesitation, takes us straight to Katha tonight. Tonight Katha teaches about honesty and the fulfillment of promise of a great king. Taken from the Devi Bhagavad Mahapuran, the story of Raja Harishchandra. It says, my friends, Raja Harishchandra was from the Raghul dynasty and the ancestor of Sri Ram. Is there any one of you who don't know Bhagwan Sri Ram? Every one of us know who is Bhagwan Sri Ram. It's not so. Lived in Treta Yuga and still known for his honesty, truthfulness, and righteousness unto today. My friends, is there any one of you here tonight in Mandir never tell a lie? I see a lot of smile. I see a lot of guilty smile. Like you know, you really tell a lie and you don't want to say yes. Is there any one of you ever tell a lie before in your life? Huh? You make joke. My friends, during his time of ruling, it says in Rokatha, he was happy and what he was doing for his kingdom. From his happiness, everyone was happy and there was prosperity everywhere. And to know more about this great king, my friends, it takes us straight to Devi Bhagavad Mahapuran. Listen. Janani kripa karo ambe, Janani kripa karo ambe, Janani kripa karo ambe, Shri Janani jai और राजा हरिश्चंद्र जंगल में शिकार करने आए और आज उन्हें एक बिहानी के चिरत उन्हें उनको इसका बाज की सूरत को पैदा कर दिए सुरे कर दिया जो मेराज हमारा माया भरा एक ब्रह्म का It says once Raja Harishchandra was out in the forest hunting and suddenly he heard a woman screaming. My friends, he began to chase after that sound, which was an illusion created by Vighnaraj, the Lord of Obstacles. We pray to the Lord of Destruction. We pray to the Lord of Success. We pray to the Lord of Creation. We pray to the Lord of Sustenance. Have you ever known or heard before there's a lot of obstacles as well? It says, my friends, hearing this cry, this was an illusion of the Lord of Obstacles. Vighnaraj was out there in the forest trying to distract a great sage by the name of Vishwamitra from his penance. I always mention when you do your puja, when you do your prayers, know who you invite to your home, because not everybody happy when you pray. Do you agree or not? You're looking at me like first time you hear that, Lord. Well, I will tell you this, not everybody happy when you are praying, because especially when you're a blessed devotee, you start to get up in life. Loving devotees, as sage Vishwamitra was performing penance, the Lord of Obstacles was trying to distract him. Upon seeing Raja Harishchandra standing there, Vighnaraj possessed Harishchandra and distract the sage while he was in deep meditation. Loving devotees, it's just like you when you're doing things in life, many things distract you and I. Can you name some of them? What are some of the things that distract us from the present moment? I see somebody show me a phone in their hand. I'm not sure if they're saying the phone is a distraction or they're telling me after the puja I can have the phone. I'm not sure about that one. What do you think? Is the cell phone a distraction? My friends, cell phone will not be a distraction as a person who using the cell phone become the distraction, because if you put down the phone, it causes no harm to anyone. See your Pitaji in the chair there, look. The phone said down nice then. Anila, you waited till they got them finished, then I will touch you. What are some other distractions, my friends, in our life? Music. What kind of music? When you play your little bhajan, slowly at your home, doing your puja, someone passed with a heavy bhajan, not bhajan, I don't know what you call it. What happened? Right away you forget about your little bhajan and your mind goes, and probably you know the song that they're playing too. Distraction. It says everywhere we go, there will be distraction, but having a strong mind will help us to be focused in life. Due to this distraction, sage Vishwamitra was disturbed from his penance. And as he was disturbed from his meditation, my friends, listen to what happened. The Kalpa tells us. Jai 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 Durge, Jai 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 Durge. हरिश्चंद्र नहीता जय सिंह कान्या आहार की विघ्न राजता जय 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 दुर्गे जय 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 दुर्गे जय 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 दुर्गे जय 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 दुर्गे जय 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 Vishwamitra get angry, but through his power he realized that it was not Harishchandra who distracted him, but Vighnaraj. Suddenly Raja Harishchandra came back to his sense and realized his mistake. He had cursed under the influence of Vighnaraj. Loving devotees, tonight Baba teaches you and I that sometimes you carry on your daily duty, you're trying to help each other, trying to do something good for your society, your community, your dharma, and then you end up in problem. Is there anyone ever went through that before in their life? There are many people in North America, my friends. I know that when they have their family back home, and when they try to sponsor them in taking them to United States, Canada, wherever, everything is going well. And when they get there, for a few months, maybe some couple of years, the family will take care of them, provide food, clothing, make sure they're happy. When they get a job, when they start to see that, like having that lucky thing in the pie, the money start to bless, what they do, my friends? They say, what, to the family, I think it is time now for us to stand on our own feet. They move on by themselves and they start their life. And those same people who help them to become who they are today, they go around and they criticize them. Lovely devotees, have you ever been through that in your life? Trying to do things, but yet you play unnecessarily. Tonight I want to tell you, forget about the blame that people being given to you or pointing fingers, and always focus on that one being the Paramatma. Because He's the God that knows everything, and He knows how to settle, He knows how to judge, He knows everything because we are all created from that divine energy, our Shakti. Raja Harishchandra immediately began to apologize to sage Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra forgave Raja Harishchandra, but as a Brahman, sometimes people forgive you, but the karma or the curse is not undo. Immediately, but what my friends, it says sometimes you will have to go through certain things to undo or erase that karma. So I'm having the forgiveness of Vishwamitra. He knows now as a Brahmana, he required the king to give his wealth, the little that he have. But my friends, what kind of wealth Raja Harishchandra has? The Gata tells us, listen.
Jagadishwari Daya Karo Mateshwari Kripa Karo Jagadishwari Daya Karo Mateshwari Kripa Karo के सेवा करने भी झूठा और उन्हें वचन किया कि वे उनकी सभी इच्छा पूरी करेंगे। ऋषि ने राजा सूर्य यज्ञ पूरा करने के लिए आनंद की मांग की। जगदीश्वरी दया करो मातेश्वरी कृपा करो
Says Raja Harishchandra took it upon himself to serve the sage and promised him to fulfill all his desire at any cost. Says Vishwamitra said that I will also need donation from you to fulfill my Raja Surya Yajna. Doing Yajna or Yajna, there are different kinds of Yajna. And every yajna brings different benefits in one's life. I have mentioned the first night of beginning of Gyaan Satsang at Rosal, Shiv Durga Mandir. I asked the question, when last you went to a 7-day and 7-night yajna? And some people say 2000 and when? I can't remember the exact year, but for a while. I asked the question here tonight, when last you went to a 7-day and 7-night yajna? Push out here. I asked the question, when? When last? Well, I think something is wrong, is that so? Something is wrong. Our Puranas declare that every yajna brings different benefit. Back in time, when people do yajna in our town or village, they perform yajna on behalf of their pitri or their ancestors. Do you remember that time? Loving devotees and friends, It is not only by listening to Garud Puran will help that soul to have a better place. It says, just like while we are alive, we create an opportunity for 7 days and 7 nights to sit down and listen to Katha, because they just normally have bamboos around with flags. Do you remember that time? And it be a long, long bamboo. Well, it recommended for that long bamboo to have 7 joints. The teachings here tonight, you start from the bottom. It says the mind is so chanchal. When you sit here, you will focus 5 minutes, 10, some people, 20 minutes, God bless you. For the fourth session, that means you are at the position of the fourth joint of the bamboo. As you sit down the second night, practice make perfect. For those who was listening for 5 minutes, they multiply, now they can able to listen for 10. For those for 20, 40 minutes. Isn't that a benefit? The more you listen, the more you learn. Many times you heard that when people die, you need singing and you need katha. Is for those people who absent and never be present in satsang or yajna, to listen while they are alive, need such a thing, I must say. Loving devotees. They create that yajna, so while all the family comes together. A long time they don't have yajna, only 4 or 5 people around. You remember that time they have a whole big ring, all the brother, sister, nani, you name it. And every night you'll see different people will join there. It's a family yajna. When I see that, well, I mentioned to them, I give them ideas how to do it. And next year when I come back for Gyaan Satsang in 2026, they said they're ready for a 7-day and 7-night yajna. It is not one person yajna, it's everyone yajna. So you also can be a part of that, my friends. Loving devotees, he is going to perform a Rajas yajna, which every yajna will bless us for different things. Sage Vashishta demand everything that Raja Harishchandra owned except his body, his wife, and his son at this point in time. Everything. So let's say someone come now, they will remind you of something. They show up in front of you and say, give me everything, but I will leave you alone and your family alone. What just come to your mind? You don't know? A thief man. They'll show up and say, give me everything. Then I will save your life and your family. Similarly, my friends, Raja Harishchandra says, everything that you own, you have to hand over to me. The only thing except yourself, your wife, and your son. Have you ever been in trouble or problem and you feel like to run away from your own home before? Sometimes people say, Pandit, how you just know the story? Well, it's in our scripture. Have you ever had trouble in your home? Am I living in your own house, your own home, having problem? You feel like to leave your home and go somewhere far? It never happened to you? My friends, Raja Harishchandra happily gave away his kingdom to sage Vishwamitra as a donation towards that yajna. Raja Harishchandra, with his wife and his son, began walking away from the kingdom. While they were walking, it says something unexpected happened. What happened? The Father tells us. तेरे लिए माँ प्यारे प्यारे चुनरी हमें लाल लाई रे तेरे लिए माँ प्यारे प्यारे और राजा के पास विवेक के लिए कुछ भी नहीं था। राजा हरिश्चंद्र ने उनसे एक आदमी को समान मांगा ताकि वे दूसरे भाई की विकास कर सके। Do you know there's some people, the more you give them, the more they want? Do you know of anybody? Is there any one of you, the more you get, the more you want? But I know there are many, the more you see, the more you want. Lovely devotees, says Vishwamitra, stop the king and asked him for another donation. But this time, the king had nothing to offer. Remember, he handed over everything except himself, his wife, and his son. Lovely devotees, Raja Harishchandra has to come up with an idea to save the honor of his family. He asked the sage to give him 1 month so that he can arrange for another donation. Vishwamitra agreed and blessed him on his journey forward. Lovely devotees and friends, blessings is very important in our life. How many people agree to that? Raise your hand. Do you think it's important for children to have their parents' blessings? Is it important or it's not necessary? So why we have some people in Kalyo, they feel like once they can work, once they get married, they don't care about what their parents says. Why? Do you believe it's important to have blessings from beggars? Pandit, what kind of beggars? That is the question I need tonight. What kind of beggars? Today I want to share you something that I experienced. Going on a drive today, a beggar show up. Many beggars show up. I didn't expect so many beggars in Gyaan. One show up that he wants money to go and buy food. Right? He has some in his hand. He needs some more to buy food. And my driver says, how much you charge? He says, give me whatever you can give. I will take. So the driver says, come, let me take you to the food shop, order what you want, pay, and whatever the balance is, I will pay for it. Do you know what he did? Can anybody give a guess? If you was that beggar and you're really hungry, and you are really begging for food, and you have $400 and that food costs $1,000, you have an offer. Go and order what you want, he's willing to pay. But he denied because he wasn't hungry for food, but hungry for something else. Lovely devotees, today, in this day and age, I want to tell you, be careful who you're giving your money to. Because not by giving money to someone, it means you will be blessed. It's all depends who you're giving your money to. You understand so far? Lovely devotees, it says blessings is very important. You have common sense, you have intellect, wisdom, you went to high school, you graduate, God bless you. I want to encourage you. utilize your knowledge to help who is in real need, not need alone, who really need help. Loving devotees, coming to Gyaan in 2022 for the first Gyaan satsang, I came with the intention that, when we were living, there were people in our village who need help. And people who I think need help, when you're giving them things that people did not want, I think it will be an offerings to them. They're looking at me like this. Am I a beggar man? God bless Gyana, loving devotees and friends. Loving devotees, long ago when we receive, we appreciate and we accept and bless. If we don't want, we give to our brothers, our cousin, we give someone to wear it or utilize it. But loving devotees, money is a good thing when you have wealth, and wealth and money is a bad thing when you have too much. It is how you use it is what is important. Now, as he agreed, my friends, to arrange the donation in a one time, Vishwamitra blessed them on their journey. Something happened which made sage Vishwamitra very angry. What happened? Because it tells us this. Jagadamba Devi, Jagadamba Devi, Jai 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 Jagadamba Devi. Jagadamba Devi, Jagadamba Devi, Jai 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 Jagadamba Devi. राजा और उनके परिवार जान के लगे हो परिवार के राजा को प्रकुल कर दिया राजा हरिश्चंद्र अपने लोका के पास और भगवान पर सिंह अभिभूत थे। जगदम्बा देवी जगदम्बा देवी जय जय जगदम्बा देवी जगदम्बा देवी जगदम्बा देवी जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी जगदम्बा देवी जगदम्बा देवी जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी। As the king and his family were leaving, the citizen stopped them. Raja Harishchandra was overwhelmed by the love and emotion of his people. Seeing this, my friends, Vishwamitra got angry and he's about to do something. But before I explain further in Katha, when there's downfall in some home in our village, there's some people who have really good heart will come and sit down with you and give you a hug without hugging you with their love. Do you know of anybody? Do you know of anyone that when someone have problems, when someone experiences sickness or death in their family, there is a specific person in the village will come along and be there for you and ask, is there any way or anything I can do for this moment to help you in your situation? Is there anybody like that in Mandir? Very good. Give her a big round of applause. Here this one. When last you leave us a gal, can you lend me one potato till we go shop and buy it? I'll give you one. When last you hear that one? Buy out, buy back. The rat leap, so we out the leading way out instead. Loving devotees and friends, you ask to borrow, but your neighbor said, don't worry, because he or she know that when she sharp the salt or sugar, she'll do the same thing. Can you lend me some sugar? When I go to the shop, I'll buy it back for you. You remember that time? Who was living that time? Raise your hand. Those times. You and your neighbor have a fight? Huh? Don't lie, you just fight. But by the time the sun go down, you may come back before you go to bed. Am I right or wrong? You just fight over little things. Maybe their cat come over and mess up your bottom house when you're down, or maybe their bora run over the fence, or the tree falls, some little dispute. On that day, but before the sun goes down, you and your neighbor turn back like this. In this day and age of value, you only look at your neighbor like this, and your neighbor hears something from somebody else about you, and by looking at her or him and give her a little smile, not a full one, she don't know, yes, that was true, and did not talk with you for a whole year. Can you? How can we have peace amongst ourselves? It is useless we go to Yajna, we do puja, and we cannot live good with our neighbors. So, I have some news for you. If there's any one of you tonight in Mandir have problem with your neighbor, you better go home tonight. It is not too late, they're still awake, they're on TikTok, they're on, you name it. They're on their phone, they sleep till 12 o'clock, don't tell me they fall asleep. When you go home tonight, call your neighbor and say, neighbor, no matter what dispute you have, my friends, call your neighbor and say, you know what, I went to satsang, and Pandit sent this prasad for you. And then you ask you which Pandit, tell them my name, they will know me. And my friends, if they accept the prasad, but you know what happened tomorrow morning, it's time to borrow back potato and then salt, onion, garlic. Get it or not? If you're not talking to your neighbor, don't come to Mandir tonight, tomorrow. It's useless. That is the point in our Katha. Live good among your society. Be an example. Not everyone will listen to what you're saying, my friends. It's not because when someone don't listen to you, you cause enemy with them. As a spiritual leader, I want to advise you. Many times I give valid and legit advice to people, not just like that, they ask for it, but it does not make sense. But you'll have to give people time to grow, to become wise. Loving devotees and friends. For example, I want to share. Wife come to take care of their husband. I don't do those kind of reading, for those of you who don't know me. Pandit, can you do a reading for my husband, see what happened to him? I will tell him, let me see what happened to you first before we check on the husband. And we'll go through the book, everything that's stated there, I give them example and remedy. Go and fix yourself first. And if you think your husband will give you a problem, come back and bring your husband and let me and him sit together. Because I would not like for somebody to go do reading and know my story. Do you like that too? No, the man of Pandit does you call them on the phone and check the thing out, they tell you we got to do. God bless them. It says everything that we do in our life, we have to ask for permission. We have to let them know that we are doing reading. For those who are going to do things, for people in your name, your date of birth, well, I will not say God bless you, but your days is coming. Who permission you ask? Loving devotees and friends, it says everything that we do in our life, we must seek permission. God help those who help them. So how can we help the man when he's at home? We will pray for him. No, my friends, they said to me, the man will never come to you. I said, go and tell him, Pandit says, if you really have a problem and you want to fix yourself, I want to see him. 85% come, my friends, who really need help. Loving devotees, this is an example. You have to give people time to grow. You don't kill, you don't do what the king is about to do tonight. What he did, my friends, sing the love that pouring to Raja Harishchandra from the citizen of that village. He was a little jealous. And what he did now, he get angry. He took a rod and began to beat the king and his family to leave, not to stop anymore. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? People are showing the love, and respect, and appreciation. My friends, in this day and age of Kali, similarly, when there's some people are gaining respect from the community, there will be people not with a physical whip, but they will come with the words of whip and trying to bring you and I down. Be careful what you entertain in your mind. Loving devotees, Vishwadeva, the garden of the direction, it says when we do puja as well, direction is very important. And at this moment he saw what was going on and he condemned the act of sage Vishwamitra. Seeing the citizen love pouring upon Raja Harishchandra, hearing the criticism of Vishwadeva, it says now Vishwamitra cursed Vishwadeva to rebirth or take birth as a normal human being. Loving devotees, I always mention that when you do good, know who you're doing good to. Because sometimes those good can end up hurt you. You know or you don't know? There's some people say, Pandit, you know how much good I'm doing, but yet bad is coming my way? You know how hard I'm praying? How hard? The street that I hear you? Hard by effort or by song? My friends, I don't think you're really praying hard because sometimes I ask you to sing and you're right in front of me and I can't even hear you. Imagine when you pray home, Bhagwan will hear you? Well, I guess you need to scream louder, my friends, to God. Pray a little harder. And it says, because of this, Vishwadeva was born as one of the sons of Draupadi. After 1 month, Raja Harishchandra, with his wife and son, reached the holy city of Varanasi. This is what take place, the Katha tells us. Durge, 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 Jai Jai Jaisi Harichandra, Sakarmai, Bhakil Uye, Ude Dek aur Rishi Vashisht, Indra, Mahundar ke liye kahe, ऋषि ने कहा कि तुम्हारी पास केवल आराधन बचा है कराओ तुम्हें अंत तक आपन नहीं देती हो तो तुम इंसान लगेगा Says, as Raja Harishchandra entered in the city, sage Vishwamitra stand there waiting for his pending donation. Have you ever lent money before? Any one of you ever lent money before here? If you ever lent money, raise your hand. I expect everybody. You never lent money before? Lending money, did you receive back all the money that you lent? And if you do receive everything, how long it take for you to get it? I bet you now a month. Some people like years. And you have to keep asking over and over for it. It says they're waiting for his pending donation. The sage says, you only have half day now left. If you do not give your donation by the end of the day, you will be cursed. How many people think a Brahmin life is simple to live? Raise your hand. Pandit, I'm not a Brahmin, how I'll know that? Well, do you know of a Brahmin? Do you think it's a simple life? My friends, Brahmin make a lot of sacrifice. They don't eat every and anything. They don't entertain every and any thought. They don't engage in every and any activity. They don't look at certain things. Do you know or you don't know? My friends, they also not consume certain things. Loving devotees, there are a lot of sacrifice. Hearing this, my friends, if you do not give your pending donation for the time that left, which is half day, then you will be cursed. Raja Harridial was helpless and did not have or know how to arrange the other part of the donations. Meanwhile, his wife suggested him to sell her to someone for money to save himself from the curse. Is there any wife in this Mandir tonight? Please raise your hand. Goodness. I divorced? Good job. Raise your hand high, man. That's a proud and loud wife over there. I'll ask the question again. I'm not abusing you in any way, right? Raise your hand if you're a wife. Is there any wife in this Mandir tonight? Very good. Give yourself a big round of applause. My question to these wives in Mandir and Satsang, will you do anything to save your husband in any and every situation? Somebody said yes, I don't see the face outside. Oh, give her a big round of applause. God bless the husband. I hope you know how fortunate he is. He's around, so I can tell him. Oh, thank God, I don't need to tell him, you know now. There's some wife who do anything for your husband. And listen to this. Is there any husband in Mandir tonight? I think I was the first one to raise my hand, right? Husband, my question, will you do anything for your wife? Especially to save them from any life situation. Will you do any and everything for them? I see one hand go like this. That's an uncertain yes. Very good. Our Padaji says yes. My friends, love has no definition. When you go to high school, they say love is a thing, tickle the heart, tumble the brain, and what? You fall down the atom. Love does not have any explanation. It says when someone loves one another, they live life like crazy. Look at the life of Radha Rani and Bhagwan Shri Krishna. Look at the life of Bhagwan Shri Ram and Sita Mata. Sita Mata gave up the kingdom, the jewelry and everything to go to live at the forest. Is there any king out there? Yes, they close down a little. Is there any farmer here? This is Beta, Blackbush, bushland area. A lot of farming happened here when I was childhood. I hope they're still planting around here. Is there any farmer here in the Mandir? Especially husband? Your wife ever go to the background and help you out? Oh, them are the real Sita. Do not scare of animals, snake, nothing, my friends, because when you stand at the tomorrow, it's not about how much you pay for the lehenga or the sari or the dhoti or what you wear for the wedding day. What is important on a wedding? Can somebody help me? What is the most important thing in Viva Sanskar? First is the blessings, and second is to live up to the vows. One of them, no matter where your husband goes, he must continue to be supported. 100%, my friends. But nowadays, we are living in a world, there's something called legal marriage. Do you know it or you don't know? People are married legal in Guyana. I know long time they only marry legal when they have to get a visa. They don't care to get married. But now they know the importance of getting married legally. Do you know or you want me to tell them? I think if I tell them then and if they don't really know, well, husband, you will be in trouble. Wife, you will be in trouble. I'll ask you, do you think I should tell them when you married legal what it really means in North America legally? I'm kind of iffy now because you married your husband and wife, you're ashamed to put up your hand now. When you come back next Gyaan satsang, you're the only one to raise my hand up because you are really divorced. Living the day and age of Kali, people when they sign that paper, they have in their head, I don't even need to work what my husband wants, it's 50-50. So man, lie down in the hammock, rocking, eat roti, kapan, seke, all kind. The wife go and work, I don't care, whatever the wife work. If she want to go, half belong to me, she don't have anywhere to go. Because she work for it. Married legal. Loving devotees and friends. It says now the advice has been given. By the wife. The suggestion is to sell her to get money to save Raja Harishchandra from the curse. Loving devotees, Raja Harishchandra could not imagine doing such a thing and fell to the ground unconsciously because he never had that thought that the day will come. For money, he will have to sell his wife. Loving devotees, the Katha tells us what take place. Listen. Premahi Jayama Gyanamahi Jayama जिनके अंदर में ऋषि हम के नए राजा के पास और राजा के पास अपने पत्नी के सूरज को शिकार करने की वहाँ कोई विपद नहीं था। सैया ने अपने पति को करीब के सीधे से अश्वत्थामा दी। It says at the end of the day, sage Vishwamitra came to Raja Harishchandra for his donation. This time Harishchandra had no option but to agree to his wife's suggestion. He sold his wife to an old man by the name of Shivya, who was in need for a maid servant. And many people, when I say sell wife, they have different thinking, Selling his wife to become the maid, to clean up, to cook. And it says now, Rohitashva began to cry, the son of Raja Harishchandra, upon seeing that now he will be separated from his mother. Parents, can you separate from your child? Every wedding day, what has happened? Especially when you have one child. Weddings are supposed to be happy. Is not so? And when the time comes to hand over the hand of your daughter or your son, my friends, what happened? It says the parents will break down in emotion and they will start to cry. Because what it means that today, as you take an oath and a vow to live life, maybe, I want to share this little something to each and every one of you. Long time, when a boy gets married, the boy does not get dressed in the house but out the house. Do they still do that now or no? They still do that? Oh, that's nice, very good. And nobody else will get involved, but the mother will be there to make sure their son dressed up like a king, no, a prince. Lovely devotees, before they put that thing on the dulahan, the thing with the little board on top, what do you call it? Before that crown go on the head of the dulaha, who head it goes on first? The mother. You know what that teaches? It says, before I call you or the world call you king, remember, I am your queen and I will forever be your queen. Do you know the purpose of that or not? Why the mother choose to dress up the son? Is to tell the son that, you know what? I do not know if this will be the last day. This is an opportunity, I will dress you. But let me tell you this. I dress you to the best of my ability, because I know when you go to your wife's house, your wife will not like the way how I dress you. Because she will find fault on every and anything. Your wife will call you old-fashioned. But as I dress you old-fashioned, remember, never forget where you came from. That is the purpose, lovely devotees. You saw it, but did you know the purpose? Well, you know it now. Now when you will do it with more effort, with more love, with more certainty that, I know what I'm doing now. Lovely devotees and friends. It says, just like when you try to separate a young calf from a cow to get the milk, to feed your child or feed yourself, what happened? It says, tears will flow from the mother and the eyes of the little one. And as soon as you lose that little one, what happened? There's so many mother cow in the pen. That cow just born know which cow is his or her mother. Isn't that amazing? Lovely devotees. It says, now can you imagine the feeling? The separation of the mother from a child cannot explain as well. Unable to separate from her child, Sylvia saw an offer now to buy her son as well, which he is now getting more money. Lovely devotees and friends, parents, I want to ask you a question this evening. At what age you should stop babysit your child? Can I hear it? You want me to repeat it? I'll say it loud and bold. At what age you should stop babysit your child? One kakayas. At what age you should start enroll your kids in Mandir, the Lord, go to Bachuka Satsang music? I heard the number 7. Tonight I'm asking another question in the series of Gyaan Satsang, which is our 4th annual Gyaan Satsang in Gyaan. At what age should a parent stop babysit their child? Can anybody give me the age? Oh, you didn't pick name? Why didn't pick name? You're looking at me. Can you tell Amin tonight what age you stop babysit your child? He started to do everything for himself. Uncle said it never stopped. They grow old, 40, 50. Oh my goodness, a good child, that's a good old child. Who should we blame for that? Can you answer the question? Who should we blame when children is getting babysit at the age of 50 years old? Instead for them to apply for pension, they get babysitter. God bless them. Well, I should ask them this. Was my child at 50, 60 years and I have to babysit my child, here's what I would do. When he or she qualify for pension, she will have to pay me to babysit her. And you know how much? Everything that the government gave her or him will have to go for me to babysit her. You know what will happen after that? My child will find a new babysitter. Lovely devotees. There are some parents did not give their children opportunity to do anything because you know what? Only pick this small, can't do it. Let me do it for them. Mothers and fathers, have you ever given thought, maybe tonight you go to bed and you don't have an opportunity to get up? What will become of your children when they cannot brush their own teeth? They cannot take out their own clothes. They cannot wear their socks. Their children, 16, 18 years, they can't even put their shoelace in. But they know they want Jordan for $300, $400 US dollars. Am I right or wrong? It is about time to teach your child and children to start doing little things around the house. So that when they go to their mother-in-law home, they will not be a burden, but a benefit for them. Likewise, you like that for yourself. When any child comes to your home, you don't want anybody picking to be a burden. So we are going to work together now to start to put some manure. When has to get urea, fertilizer. Start to put the proper nutrition onto the feet of our children to nourish their mind. That you know from today, when you get out of bed, you make your bed how you sleep on it. When you eat your food, you know how much you should take and how much you eat. Take your food out yourself, because when I give you, it goes in the garbage. Teach your children that you know when you finish eat, you'll need that same plate to eat back 6 o'clock. If you want left it to dry there and you want extra crunch in your food for dinner, leave it. This is your plate. Take care of it. And then you will see some changes. Loving devotees. Mother said, no, let me do it. You'll do it, but think, if you're not around, who will do it for them? Your children, your child will suffer. No parents want that, my friends. It says, having the extra money, Harishchandra was happy, my friends, to have the wealth to save himself from that curse, which he took and he gave to sage Vishwamitra. As he gave his donation to the sage, listen to what happened. The Kata tells us. Varde, 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 vinayani varde. हरिश्चंद्रा से कहा कि फिर अभी हमत नहीं हुए और करने को तैयार है। धर्मराज को चंदन के रूप में पेश किया और उसके नौकरी की पहचान करके was not enough for the sage. He told him that the day has not finished yet. You still have some time, and I am willing to wait. Loving devotees, at this moment, Dharmaraj, the deity of virtue, came disguised himself as a Chandal. Do you know the meaning of a Chandal? It says a person who disposes their body and offer Harishchandra a job for the amount of sage Vishwamitra demand. Harishchandra refused to work under him and suggests that he is willing to work for Vishwamitra instead. Vishwamitra thought for a second and agreed to make Harishchandra his servant. Loving devotees, if I ask you that I have 3 positions here tonight to give to you, which one will you choose? But let me hear the position first. The first one, you will be the president of this Mandir. The second, you will be the treasurer of this Mandir. And the third, you will be the servant of the God of this Mandir. Which one do you want? Don't lie, you're in Mandir. Which one? The first one? Well, you get it. Second? Third? The last one? Are you certain about that? Do you know what you just say? Or what that just means? It means that if I come to you and say, from today, I want you to be my servant. That is what it means. When I tell you like that, you don't like it how it sounds. If somebody comes and says, today I want you to be my servant, you don't want to hear that. Nobody wants to be his servant, my friends. But it says when it comes to Bhagwan, we are all servants of God. That's why we clean, we set up, we make sure we have all necessary article, ingredient, utensils to do our puja, and never complain. But there's some, when they do, they just ice a spoon and bring it to the Hawankun area. They want their name to call. Do you think they're servants of God? They're kings and they're queens, loving devotees. So tonight, as Raja Harishchandra become Vishwamitra's servant, listen to what he did. The Katha tells us. Ma Jai Ma Jai Ma Ambe Ma चंदन के आदि काम रहने दे कहा चंदन ने निष्ठिया की थे धन संस्कार की जानी माने के रायत सब के ये और किसी को भी छूट ना दी जाए Vishwamitra asked Harishchandra to work on the jungle. He was ordered by the jungle to take fees for every single body being cremated and for none to be exempted from that fee. Loving devotees, talking about fees, it says long ago when it comes to ritual, there was nothing like fees. Do you know that time or you don't know? Remember? We just born, right? Well, you don't know. My friends, it says everything comes in the form of donation. So far tonight as you listen to the Katha, there is no specific amount of money. The Brahman keep giving and giving and giving to save himself from a curse. Loving devotees, being instructed by every single body cremated, none should be exempted from a fee. Eventually, Harishchandra began to work and living at the cremation ground. If I should ask you, are you willing to live at the cremation ground? Why? Is there anybody willing to live by the burial ground? Why? I'll call the president of Gyaan and ask him to donate some money. Is there a burial ground back here? Burial ground? In this area? Where? Which street? Oh, then? Bagnamuha. Oh, in this area they have it Bagnamuha. So, we know the location. I'll ask to get some money. We'll build a big mansion by the burial ground. Who willing to go live in that mansion? Before I go and get the money, we need somebody to take care of that mansion, to go live there. Who willing here to go live tonight? Huh? Why can't you live at the burial ground? Why? You scared of the tomb? The flower plant? What are you scared of? Zombie? Something in your own house, something you pull your foot. Maybe you go when zombie really there and you sleep some. Have you ever given thought? Alright, listen to this one. Before I go and talk to the president, he's a busy person and waste my time and his time. Let's try this out. Tonight when this satsang finish, if you want the mansion, let Panditji tell you the bell wrong there. Go and sleep on the grave tonight. And if you wake up tomorrow morning without no problem, we're doing a test. Come back tomorrow night for the satsang and tell me if you really make this decision before we call the president. Alright? If you have that thought, you want the mansion. Lovely devotees. It says now, situation has forced him to live there because he don't have a house. When you don't have a place to stay, you stay any and every way as long you are covered. Have you ever thought about the birds, the animals, the insect? They have no choice because when they come into your home, what do? You have the Gyaan, you have the broom, you have a spray can, and just they come, you attack them. But I have some news for you. Last night, someone visited us in our Mandir. Now everybody know, maybe you're not that blessed to know, but now you're really blessed to come back to the Yajna. Someone visited us last night. And how I know? Because in this area here, I see people on one side here like this, and they're looking at their toes and it's still on. And I'm waiting to see if anybody will take their hand and hit that thing. I will yell at the mic, although, you know, the mic wasn't allowed. I was going to yell hard, don't hit that thing. But I learned that, you know what? Although that thing was poisonous, can hurt you, you're wise enough to leave that thing alone because it did not trouble you. Lovely devotees and friends, think just like how you have a soul in your body, similarly, same size, same everything, is in that ant. Hanumanji taught us a lesson. As he grows large as a mountain, like people grow in their ego, he represents us. And he makes himself small for those who have humility, like tiny, like a little ant. Is to teach you and I, is the same life within him. He did not have a different soul. So today, when you see things around, make sure you don't, because you will not like for somebody to hit you like that, my friends. Lovely devotees, eventually, Harridial began to live. While living there, he had this feeling. What is the feeling? The God tells us as this poet speaks.
सुख के सब साथी दुख में न मेरा मेरा तेरा नाम एक साथ दूजा न सुख के
जग जोगी बना दिया राजा होया रंग सभी का राजा होया रंग सभी का अंत एक जैसा होई सुरभि में सब सारी दुख में हंसो मेरे नाम तेरा नाम एक साथ तू जान Do you know there are some people, they're fighting for 1 inch land? Do you know there are some people, they're fighting for 1 penny weight of gold? Do you know there are some people fighting for a sheet of paper? You know? My friends, no matter you're king or you're beggar, you will not take what you're fighting, my friends. All of us are going back to the 5 elements. You don't want the grass to touch your feet. Because sometimes I see there are people who wear slippers and socks. And I know how that thing born, you know. I know how it born. One day, there was this man who was doing construction work. And he was trying to mix cement. And to protect his foot from the cement, with his knowledge, he said, you wear the socks and wear the slippers. And then he went on his lunch break to buy a soda and a bread to eat. And everybody who went to the shop that day looked at the man and said, you know what? This thing looks nice. Let me try it out. But didn't you hear the story? Every smile is a... You don't want nothing to touch your foot. But I will tell you, in your home when you have the electricity, if there's not a grounding wire, your TV, your fridge, your electrical appliances will go round now at the high. If there's no grounding. And in you and I, it says in our body, their energy as well. And for one to ground themselves is to stand barefoot onto the naked earth. Now you know why people normally rich, have money, but they never conquer that area where they stand up to throw their dart. So last night I asked you about the gel, where to throw it, who to throw it to, and the whole 9 yards. So I will ask you this question now. That area where you have your genti plant, your tulsi plant, your flower plant, wherever you offer the gel to Surya Bhagwan, do you have concrete where you stand? Huh? Is there anybody who don't have concrete in that area where you are going to offer gel? Raise your hand. Only a few, so the rest they do. So I want you to go, contact the contractor, and then bring the sledgehammer and break a little square that you will stand up into. Because it says when you stand barefoot on the ground with your brass motor, when the sun hit the rays hit the loader outside, it says to create this effect, which there's an energy that enter into that gel. Now when you throw that gel, by looking forward, it says it starts to energize your eyes, your ears, your nose, every organ of your body. Now you know you eat a little bit ghee like this, your left side artery black up. It's because maybe you stand up with something in your foot. Long time just eat ghee, honey, name it, everything. And you live for how much year? In our race, how much year people is a long time for? 100. Well, are we gonna make that? We have to pray. Some people live 95 and above, my friends. Loving devotees. It says by doing so, it says that is what energizes us so that we can carry on our daily activity. It's just like when you plug the cell phone into the charger to charge your cell phone. As Raja Harishchandra began to work living at the cremation ground, one day his wife came at the cremation ground with her dead son in her hand due to a snake bite. Seeing this, Harishchandra considered killing himself as he could not fulfill his duty as a husband or a father. He felt very horrible of himself, but realized if he did so without the permission of his master who is working for, he will have to bear the consequences in his next jana. Is there anybody here tonight, when you have problem, you think of taking your life? Listen to the katha. If you think of taking your life, think about the consequences in your next jana, what you will have to go through if you do so. Loving devotees and friends. Similarly, he did. And his wife began to gather all the necessary things ready for cremating, for the cremation of her dead son's body. By doing so, something unexpected happened. What happened? The Katha tells us. Listen. Ambe charan kamal bete हरिश्चंद्रा ने उसके कहा कि या सुंदर छोड़ना बिना अपने खेती आत्मा संस्कार नहीं करेंगे या सुनकर वांछड़ को हैना की भारी देश परमानंद प्रकट हुए Harishchandra told his wife that he would not cremate their son without paying the fee, because this is what he has been instructed. Hearing this, he was about to throw her dead son's body away. And what happened? Immediately, Lord Indra appeared and was pleased with Harishchandra's honesty. Loving devotees, because of Harishchandra's honesty, Indradev restored his son's life. Because we are living in a day and age where many people have known that honesty is the best policy, but how many people are honest? So I'll ask my next question if you're about to go back home tonight. You tell lie, you really tell lie, don't be uncertain. We all tell lies. But my question tonight, do you tell more lie than telling truth? but then I never thought about it. But from today now, as you start your day tomorrow, get a book and a pencil for those of you who don't remember things. Draw a column, line, truth. Check it one after the other. And at the end of the day, before you go to bed, then you will count. No, not before you go to bed. Maybe you get a call 9 o'clock, you tell another lie, you forget to document it. When you fall asleep at night, early morning when you get up, Sunday morning, before you come for some Quran, you will count line and you will count truth, tally it up, and you will know the answer for yourself. Because you cannot give me the answer tonight, but you never give thought to it. You think that you're telling more truth than lie. But I will tell you, there's a lot of situation you're going throughout the day. And many people tell lie and they forget about the lie. Do you know or you don't know? And sometimes those same people you tell the lie, they mention it, now you forget that you will tell them the lie. What you do? You have to tell another lie to cover that lie. Life. Honesty is the best policy. It says, challenging to show the world, to show the neighbors, everyone, that you know what? Honesty is better than his own family. And now, because of that, he will regain and have his son back alive. Loving devotees, if this would not happen and he would lie, he would have been cremate his son, and he will never get that opportunity to have his son again. You see how great our Katha is? So telling a little truth can take us a far way in life. All the deities appear with Dharmaraja and sage Vishwamitra, praising Harishchandra for his good quality, truthfulness. Loving devotees and friends, it says that truth has been lived until this day and age of Kali Yuga. Tonight, as you listen to Katha, before I share a story, we engage in this beautiful bhajan. It tells us that Gyaan is very important in our life, because if you utilize knowledge, you will make sure you think before you. Can anybody tell me? Gyaan, knowledge plays a great role in our life. And if you bless with knowledge, to have a good, honest, and a productive life, my friends, think before you. You don't know? Think before you. Think before you. Speak. Well, I believe in action. Some people speak, let us think, and let us make right decision, and they talk, they make promise, never come true. I don't believe think before you speak. I believe think before you act, because action speaks louder than words. Tonight I asked for Bhagwan in the form of Shiv Shankar, Surya Narayan, Shri Ram Krishnachandra, Parvati Mata, Devi Mata Adi Shakti Durga Devi, Saraswati Ma Mahalakshmi, to bless you that the little knowledge that you have, so that you have understanding how to use it and to put it into your daily life. Join with me as you sing. अंधियारे सभी मित्र हैं, उजियारा आ गया, ज्ञान का सूर्य फिर से शिव प्यारा आ गया। अंधियारे सभी मित्र हैं, उजियारा आ गया, ज्ञान का सूर्य फिर से शिव प्यारा आ गया। अंधियारे सभी मित्र हैं। back home tonight, how much of you promise you'll live an honest life? Raise your hand. You didn't know, now you know. So from tonight, going on tomorrow, you try to live an honest life, to tell more truth than lie. Is there anybody selling fruits at the market here tonight? Is there anybody selling vegetable at the market? What if farmer with a fruit eagle down? You're not selling and give you drop money. Alright. A story I want to leave before you go back home. A man walking to a fruit shop and asks, do you have watermelon? Anybody know what watermelon look like? You don't know? You still eat fruits? He asks, do you have watermelon? The shopkeeper says, yes. When he looked into the basket, there was only one. And he bent down, grabbed that one watermelon, put it on the scale, and the scale weighed 10.5 pounds. The man says, do you have a bigger one? He take the one off from the scale, put it back into the basket, and take out the only one watermelon from the basket and put it back into the pan. But this time, he placed his finger there and hold on it for a little bit. Now, the watermelon weighed 15 pounds. Lovely devotees, the man says, can I have both of them? Tonight, as you take this and put it into practice, sometimes you did not tell truth but choose to tell lie to save you, but lie can be an embarrassment. What will he do? Well, if I was him, I'd cut the watermelon in two. One big half and one little half, and turn it upside down on the scale. See, truth takes us a far way in life. And Sanatana Dharma teaches us, whenever you say something, whatever words comes out of your mouth, you must live up unto it. Because promise has been made to fulfill. Now, all the promises that you tell people that, go to the Jandi, I'll meet you up there, I will take the car and come. You never show up. They invite you to come and cook. Oh, I'll come 8 o'clock, you show up 12 o'clock. Promise fail. Think about all the promises that you made in this lifespan. Do you think you have a secure birth next lifespan? Loving devotees, it's about time now for you to think. As you're starting a new day with more truth than lie, think what you're saying to people. Do not make false promises. When you are ready there, then they know you are there. So don't tell them you're coming tomorrow night for the satsang and show up Sunday morning. Because you know what happened? You hear the katha. With that being said, I want to thank you all for your patient listening. May Bhagavan continue to bless each and every one of you with good health, strength, prosperity, and wisdom. Praise God, Shakti Durga Mata ki, Shiv Shankar Bhagwan ki, Satya Sanatana Dharma ki, Jai Jai Sita Ram.
Principal Adi Shakti Mata ki. Devotees, our Vyasji was indeed eloquent and dynamic in his presentation. And like I've said earlier before, it is no exception from last night's presentation. Tonight, Kata, we have learned so many things and can put so many new things in our life. And in our Vyasji Kata, we have been given so many living examples that you and I would have faced in our everyday life. I'm not here to repeat everything, but to just give you a little highlight for us to understand what the kata is all about And some of the points that I've made while listening to him about how to be a devoted wife, how to be a devoted husband, and how to be a devoted children as well. How to be honest and must fulfill our promises. We would have listened to the sacrifice that Raja Harishchandra would have made and the effort he would have put for the safety of his life, his Dharpatni, and his son. May God bless you, Panditji, for the inspiring kata tonight. To continue, we take one more rendition, after which we'll conclude Aarti, and I'll ask Gyaan Wati to do for us. Auntie for that wonderful rendition. Let us all please stand as we conclude with our sacred arti.
यानि कानि च पापानि जन्मान्तरकृतानि च तानि तानि विनश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणा पदे पदे बोरबये दिन चल गया मेरे अम्बे बोरबये दिन चल गया मेरे अम्बे हो रहे जय जय और मंदिर विच आरती ओ तुम्हारा भाई आरती जय माँ उपहारा भाई आरती जय माँ भोलेनाथ की जय हो बाबा भोलेनाथ की जय हो अजर अमर शिव शंकर बाबा भोलेनाथ की जय हो
शिव शंकर बाबा भोलेनाथ की जय हो
अजर अमर शिव शंकर बाबा भोलेनाथ की जय हो अजर अमर शिव शंकर
बाबा भोलेनाथ की जय हो
गंगाधार की जय हो बाबा गंगाधार की जय हो
गंगाधार की जय हो बाबा गंगाधार की जय हो
गंगाधार की जय हो बाबा गंगाधार की जय हो अजर अमर शिव शंकर बाबा भोलेनाथ की जय हो अजर अमर शिव शंकर बाबा भोलेनाथ की जय हो नीलकंठ की जय जय हो, बाबा गंगाधार की जय हो, गंगाधार की जय हो, बाबा गंगाधार की जय हो। अजर अमर शिव शंकर बाबा भोलेनाथ की जय हो, अजर अमर शिव शंकर बाबा भोलेनाथ की सोमनाथ की जय हो, बाबा सोमनाथ की जय हो, सोमनाथ की जय हो, बाबा सोमनाथ की जय हो। अजर अमर शिव शंकर बाबा भोलेनाथ की जय हो, अजर अमर शिव शंकर बाबा भोलेनाथ, बाबा भोलेनाथ, बाबा भोलेनाथ की जय हो। सीताराम सीताराम सीताराम, सीताराम सीताराम सीताराम, राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम, सीताराम सीताराम सीताराम, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, गोविंद बोलो गोपाल बोलो, गोविंद बोलो गोपाल बोलो, गोविंद बोलो गोपाल बोलो, राधा रमन हरि गोविंद बोलो, राधा रमन हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, गोविंद बोलो गोपाल बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो। जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम, 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 श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम, सीताराम गोविंद राधे गोपाल, राधे गोपाल राधे गोपाल, सीताराम गोविंद राधे गोपाल, गणेश शरणं शरणं गणेश, गणेश शरणं शरणं गणेश, गणपति बाबा मोरिया, सीताराम गोविंद राधे गोपाल,
सीताराम गोविंदा
गोविंद राधे गोपाल सीताराम गोविंद राधे गोपाल सीताराम गोविंद राधे गोपाल।
Let us all then, as we conclude, we beg the one to take us home safe. ॐ सर्वमङ्गलमङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरि नारायणे नमोस्तुते। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्रः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ नागेन्द्रहाराय त्रिलोचनाय भस्मंकराय महेश्वराय नित्याय सुराय दिगंबराय तस्मन्नकराय नमः शिवाय। ओम त्वमेव मातश्च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्याद्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देव महेश्वरा गुरुसाक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतंगमय। ओम शांतिः 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 हरि ओम। प्रेम सोलवानी शक्ति दुर्गे माता की जय, सदाशिव शंकर भगवान की जय, सब सन्नति जय जय सीताराम। Can you receive Aarti Prasadam Bhujan as you prepare? So can you partake before leaving? God bless you. Can you go on?
Once again, on behalf of our sponsor, Srimad and Srimati Harridial of the British Virgin Island, I would like to say thank you to all of you for being here tonight, and we do look forward for your presence tomorrow. I wish you a safe journey home with the blessing of God.